Well, hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up. But we're going into our story time segment. And so today I have a special treat with you. I'm actually sharing one of my sister girls with you. I'm selfish with my sisters, but I won't share her with the world today. This is my sister, Miss True Johnson. How are you today, darling?
Greetings, woman of God. I'm doing awesome and amazing. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I was so excited when you agreed to come on. I said, let's talk about it.
Mhm. I'm excited to be here, sis. I'm just excited that we linked back up,
Absolutely. See, there's a time, there's a kindred kind of spirit when you meet certain people. And when I met, true. When I met you, it was just so, I think every time we come into fellowship with each other, there's like a spiritual electricity, a energy, a positive energy that flows, and it's not something that you can explain or something that you can create. It's just something that really happens. So I just wanted to officially appreciate you for that.
For sure. I appreciate you back, sis.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about why it's important for ladies to support ladies, for us to support one another, and what does that mean, and what does that look like for you?
Man, that's an awesome and amazing topic. So what that looks like to me is exactly what we're doing now, because just to testify what we were talking about earlier, we're delivered, we're covered by the blood and delivered through the testimony, and that's God's word. And we link back up because of course we haven't seen each other in a couple of years. I have a new phone, and so we haven't been connected, but I got your text. I got a link, right? And so me, I don't just hit a link when I get a link, because I don't know what's behind that link. And as soon as you hit it, whatever pop up is going to be in your eye gate. So I have to protect my soul through my ears, my eyes, and my mouth. So I didn't hit the link right away, but I text you back and I said something to the nature of, you have to give support to receive it. And so didn't get a text back right away, but then you text me back like, how can I support you, my sister? Then I hit the link. I'm like, okay, this my girl, boom, bam. Then we back and forth. I hit you back with the invite, like, come out to the purse party product launch, and boom, you hit me back like, okay, I'm coming. Now here is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, because I'm big on, if I support you, I need you to support me back, because that's the way we rise. Okay, if I have an event, I always come to your events, but you never come to mine. That's not equal. You feel me? Or if I'm always buying your product, but you never buy mine, that's not equal support. That's not how we gonna come together and take the giant down. We have to support one another. And what I love and appreciate about you, sis, is that you kept your word. You feel me? And that's everything, man. That meant everything to me, because, this is how, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, and, I don't hang around a lot of women, and I don't say that with pride, because, we need each other as sisters, but, I don't have a lot of close sisters, just due to the relationships that we have as women. We got to do better, but we have to start with swearing to our own hurt. And that's what the Bible says. Swear to your own hurt. That means if you say you gonna do it, do it. And for me, I've gotten to the point in my life, sis, where if you tell me you coming and you don't come, bruh, I'm done with you. You feel me? I love you, but B, I cannot mess with you. Not because I'm better than you or because I don't want you, but because this is the type of person that I am becoming. And these are the rules and regulations I'm setting for my life so that I can become a better person and be who God called me to be. And God does everything decently in order. And if I'm a woman of God, I'm going to keep my word. So don't get mad at me for putting it out there that, hey, sis, you didn't keep your word. So now you calling me, I don't answer, we ain't really kicking it. And you like, oh, she acting, but no, I'm not acting funny. Let's keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. At this time in our lives, we are in our 40s, 50, 60, so forth and so on, whatever age you are, you should keep your word because that's all you have. You feel me?
That is so important. You just said a mouthful. That is something that I pride myself on. I don't give my word unless I mean it. And just to hear you say that meant the world to you, I got chill bumps. I got goosebumps all over because I was like, that's exactly what it's all about. It's about that. It's something that you say, but it's actually to carry it out and to follow your words. It's in your actions. And I always say that love is the action word. When you say that you love somebody and you support them, you do that. And so, like you said, supporting one another. And we talked about connecting the dots. That's one of the taglines or phrases that was pegged by Dr. George Fraser. He talks about connecting the dots. He's a powerhouse in the financial industry about us connecting with one another and connecting those dots. You over here on one island by yourself and me on one island by myself. We can do so much more when you got all those threads coming together. And just a plug for you as well. I bought some of your products and, I love them. Both of them were just amazing. Like I said, I threw them in my cabbage and I was like, woo, this is a totally different taste. A little sweet corn in there. And it was just amazing. And you know what I say too? Yes, you all, when this lady puts together an event, let me tell you, I just told one of my partners, one of my mentors, who said, man, I've never went to a first party that somebody served me a shrimp with the whole sauce going on and the flavors and then the garlic bread. I was like, wait a minute, this is a first party.
You already know we doing it up gourmet. Come on.
Oh my goodness. I said, man, oh man. You need to eat. Yes, you need to have your whole banner, I'm always creating business, not a business, but a how-to book. Because if you want to say a how-to, this lady knows how to do it.
Awesome. God is faithful.
Yes. So, we're putting together, an amazing, and talk a little bit about your group, about your networking group with all of the people together. Yeah.
Awesome. So, the Worldwide Diversity Vendors Alliance is what we were talking about. The Worldwide Diversity Vendors Alliance. And so, the Worldwide Diversity Vendors Alliance was born a couple of years ago. I've always been a vendor, even before, they put a name on it, a word, I was doing that. I will get my food product, give me a barbecue grill, a couple coals, strike a fire, and I'm cooking. You heard me. I'm not going to get no license. I'm not going to get no permits and do all of that because God gave us authority on this earth. He told us to take the land. It's ours. I don't need permission to get out here and feed myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, with vending, that's what I love to do. And so what I would notice is that, through my experience in the ministry, and just moving around to different vending events, doing different things, that a lot of elderly, people in their late 60s, early 70s, even mid 80s would, cling to me, because, there's a lot of mid-age to elderly vendors, a lot of people that try to supplement their income through, their hobbies or whatever little project they can do, and I run into a lot of elderly vendors. So, God spoke to me and he said, I want you to put a group together, and this is what I want you to call it, the Worldwide Diversity Vendors Alliance, but I want you to focus on diversity and elderly people because, it's very painful when I go into the supermarket and I see my grandmother or my great grandmother bagging my bags or, at the register. I'm highly agitated by that because these are your golden years. There's no way you should be looking at 90 and bagging nobody's bags, but since, we live in a world today where we don't take care of our elderly people the way we should, our elderly people are suffering. And so, like I said, and like in the ministry, shout out to Global Empowerment Ministries, I would get a lot of older people, women, that would just cling to me, latch on to me. I mean, like, shout out to Marguerite and Cynthia, two of my favorite people. Haven't seen either one of these ladies in a minute. I pray that they're doing well, but they got me by like 25 years or more, both of them, right? But for some reason, couple years ago when we was on our way to Bentonville, to see Walmart and all of that, because you got to think, for anybody to try a new, it's hard enough. People, the world will tell you too old at 25. So, at 65, you really down in the dumps in your mind. You feel me? Because the world telling you too old to do this and do that. So for a person to be 70 plus, and in the ministry or in a business class, trying to do something more, trying to have something more, is just everything, and for me, I got a place for my elderly and the children, and God just said, I want you to start this group, and I want you to put these elderly people in your heart and in your mind, and make sure that, people can take their products from the table, their hobbies, and make businesses out of them. They can take it from the table to the shelf. So that's what we do, but not just focusing on elderly, but diversity, meaning women of all colors, kinds, creeds, whatever, just making sure that this group comes together. So basically, what we do, where we will vend your product for you, whether you're there or not. Like, we have people in the group that will sit at the table, and it could be 10 different vendors' products on that table. But, even though that vendor is in New York, we're in California, their product is still getting sold, and if you're a person who just has an idea, you might sew or something, you want to put your product out there, we can help you, get certified as a woman-owned business, minority-owned business, what have you, get your LLC, do different vending events, and by me being into media and television for over 20 years, I have events all the time, just like what you just talked about. So, we're here so our vendors never have to really look for events. You know what I'm saying? They never. And then the thing about being a vendor, you get taken advantage of, because people will come up with these ideas where they want to have these parties, and the first thing they try to do is pay for the event through the vendors. No, that's not what you do. You heard me? Because number one, you should have your venue paid for off bail. That the vendor should not be your scapegoat to pay for your venue. Okay. You should pay for that off bail first. And then, like a lot of places, they charge 150, 200. Some people charge upwards to $300-$400 for a table. And you got to think, if you're thinking about the vendor, okay, if I pay $250, how many products do I have to sell to get that 250 back? Now I'm making profit. So the thing is, people don't really think about the vendors, but me being a vendor, God put it in my heart to, make sure that our vendors are taken care of, treated fair. So it's kind of like, insurance as a vendor. You don't have to worry about looking for events. You don't have to worry about being taken advantage of, as long as you're paying your dues yearly. You feel me? We have 3 different memberships. So, we travel all around the world. You get hotel discounts. I mean, it's just so many different wonderful things. So we're going to be launching open house for that at the end of this month. But, God is just so faithful in everything that he promised. And I'm just so grateful that we link back up together, because together, as women, I mean, because we are God's divine creation. I mean, and that the devil, the enemy, he has had a problem with us from day one, because God told him, the woman, her seed is y'all gonna always be at war. You understand? That's why it's so hard on us as women, because if you go back to Genesis, when Eve and the enemy, they tossed the blame, he gave it to me, and this and that. So God said, okay, I'm gonna make y'all forever be at war, because both of y'all are disobedient. So when we failed, we lost that, but God gave it back to us through redemption in Jesus and the sacrifices. So we as women, we have to come together, and it only takes, like God said, when 2 or more come together, with a righteous heart, whatever you ask for and believe in God for, it from the heaven is going to manifest on this earth. And you know me, sis, I'm all about God's kingdom manifesting on the earth. I'm not trying to get to heaven. I'm trying to get heaven to earth. You heard me? And rep Father in this dispensation like he wants us to do. And ever since we met, the reason that you feel what you feel when we connect and every time we talk, because I'm always genuine when I come to you, and vice versa. When I come to you, I come to you with my spirit, man. You feel me? And we connect in the spirit, and we've always been in the spirit together due to where we met, how we met. And even though we both took different directions, God is going to get his. You feel me? He's going to bring those back together who he know. And what I love about you too, you're a rebel. You feel me? You're not one of them for real. You're not gonna lay down and take that. You know what I'm saying? You're a rebel for God's word, for his kingdom, and for his glory. And that's so important because when you dealing with the spiritual world, you have to you got to use God's spiritual power. You can't be of the world. We in it, but we not of it. So and the thing is, people sometimes think because you a woman of God that you're supposed to be this soft person who don't fight battles and this and that and the third. But if we read in the same Bible, it was nothing but a battle story. You heard me?
Wow. Yeah. So, that is so powerful. I mean, I sit here and I forget that I'm on a podcast with you and I get all into your words, into your spirit and everything, because it's just it's so amazing to be able to meet like-minded people. And I talk about this all the time, like-minded people going in the same direction. Like you said, we may take different routes to get there, but we're going in the same direction. And that's providing that support, that genuine love, like you said, being real. It's so amazing, and that's what I'm loving about this. It's been a prayer answered to start to build a community of women that strong in their own right, but strong enough to come together and support each other. And that's what I think is such an amazing blessing. So when you talk about the group that you're, put the Worldwide Alliance group that you put together, and in what I do and I think that's the reason for us to go away and come back together, because I've been able to pool different resources. That's why I teach asset diversification, because I've been able to pool different resources and vet them out, things that actually work to help us, because money is a shield and a defense, and we have to get our financial house in order and be able to generate revenue so that we can continue to move forward. And like you said, with the vendor event, you shouldn't use the vendors to actually pay for the event. But if you had the money and the resources coming in on a consistent basis, then you wouldn't have to do those type of means or cut those type of corners. You can generally put on events that are fully funded, that actually generate positive cash flow. And that's what I teach. So I'm looking forward to, not only bringing my products to your events, but I'm also looking towards more so bringing the financial information that's going to help us to be women of financial strength, know? And I think that's so important that we connect and that we band together, because we can do so much together. So I am loving this. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for us to kick it off. And and like you said, we'll advertise some of the dates, and as the events go forward, I'm gonna provide you the
again, before
oh, for sure. Yes, you're always welcome. Just know this house, you're always welcome in. Did you have any final words on this topic of ladies supporting ladies?
Final words are just, the first thing we have to do is check ourselves as women of God, because well, we can't do anything without God's power. That anything that is right, only what you do for Christ will last. And the first thing we have to do is stop sleeping with each other's husbands. Stop sleeping. Okay, we got to stop stabbing each other in the back. Stop biting me on my back. Stop. That is the first thing we got to do is find our self-love. Find out, because we come in all different shapes, sizes. I mean, nothing's the same, and it's that way for a reason. And so, in order to stop fighting and hurting your sister, you got to start loving yourself more first, because the first thing we do when we see a beautiful one, and because like I said, it depends on what you think beauty is. Because if I can see the most beautiful woman, she's beautiful on the outside, her body is gorgeous, but as soon as she opens up her mouth, you feel me, So you can be really beautiful on the outside, but your inside is rotten. You heard me? So that right there is the problem. So instead of, saying, okay, well, as soon as I see a beautiful, as soon as I see a woman, instead of, going in on whatever you think her issues are and all, no, it begins here. Okay. Every issue that you thought you had with this other woman, it start here. So the first thing we got to do is check ourselves. You understand? We got to have boundaries. Well, we have to set limits, because as long as the enemy knows that he has an avenue to creep in, you understand, and separate us, they're going to do it. If the enemy think he can separate us through a man or a man candy, if you get me, you feel me, then he's going to try, but once he knows, hey, hey, that's my sister over there. I ain't got to worry about her sleeping with my husband, because, she the type of sister that if my husband even tried, number one, he getting checked and I'm finding out. And so the thing is, this man gonna know, ain't no need of me even coming off on Sister True like that, because she ain't even going for that. And the thing is, you know, God don't need a lot of people. I don't need a lot of people. I just need the right people. Like at the event, when people came, it wasn't 1,000 people there, even 10 or 20 people there, but, the enemy will try to have you saying, oh, because it ain't crowded. A lot of people didn't show up. You wasn't successful, but you got to condemn that enemy. You got to tell that lying devil, that lying tongue, that is not true. First and foremost, I didn't do this for a lot of people to show up, but I did it to be obedient, because it's better than sacrifice. God told me to do this. His strength is made perfect in my weakness. So he wanted me to set it up gourmet style and serve you the way I did, because that's how he serves us. That's how we serve, and because that's who we are. We're kings. God is the Lord of Lords, King of Kings. So when I represent him, I'm going to do it majorly. So if we as sisters start representing each other, first represent yourself, you feel me? Swear to your own hurt. Be a woman of your word. You understand? You just got to want more. We have to put our flesh under submission. So as you feel me, we have to let our flesh know, look, you don't run me, I run you. And the sooner we can do that, the better off we'll be. And the thing is, if I'm trying to get a grant, I'm over here by myself, but I know you got resources, but instead of me calling you, I'm gonna try to do it by myself. Baby, listen. That is not going to work. I know of a bunch of grants right now for millions of dollars, but getting a big $1 million grant is a team effort. It's you understand? So I got to get some sisters who I know, first of all, gonna keep their word. They're gonna be on time. They're gonna listen to me. And so that is the first thing we have to do, to listen more to each other. Like me and you exchange conversation. We don't cut each other off, try to speak over one another, because doing that is showing, one, I'm not listening to you. Two, I'm too busy concerned with what I'm doing, so I can't even hear what you're saying. So the first thing we got to do is check this. Let God check all of this. Once God sees all of this, then I can give you everything that he gave me. You feel me? I can be the woman of God who God called me to be, to you and to myself, and we can get this thing done, because we ain't got no time to play. We look good, but baby, we ain't 19. You heard?
I know.
Black don't crack, baby, but
I said a couple.
My neck and my back.
I said, give it a couple of more years, give it a couple more good run, like good running years. Then you want to be able to, right? You're able to then, yes, you're able to then use, enjoy all the fruits of your labor, but come together and work it out together. I know I feel those aches too, sitting in this chair and all of that. So we're gonna end on a happy note, you all, but we definitely are gonna have my sister True back. And I thank you so much for your time and for all of your information.
Shout out to everybody on the show, sis. I appreciate you and love you so much.
Oh, absolutely. So don't forget, you all, like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Listen, learn, and leverage the information. All righty. Bye for now and stay fearless.